Assalamu alaikum viewers. In this video, we will study about balancing of chemical equations. The method of making the number of different types of atoms equal on both sides of equation is called as balancing of chemical equation. This balancing of the chemical reactions, it's usually done by a method. That method is known as hit and try method. This method is also known as trial and error method. Trial and error method. Actually, in this method, the different atoms of the various elements present in the equation, they are multiplied by simple numbers like 2, 3, 4, so on, in order to make the count of the different number of the atoms equal on both sides of the equation. Let's take an example to understand balancing of chemical equation in detail. For example, hydrogen reacts with chlorine to form hydrogen chloride. Let's count the number of hydrogen atoms and chlorine atoms in the reactants as well as products. Number of hydrogen atoms, number of chlorine atoms in reactants and in products. Here the number of hydrogen atoms, that's 2. The number of chlorine atoms, that's also 2. And on the product side, the number of hydrogen atoms, that's 1, and the number of chlorine atoms, that's also 1. So we have to balance this very equation by hit and try method. As I mentioned that we simply multiply the reactants or the products by simple numbers. So in order to make 2 hydrogens on the product side and 2 chlorine atoms on the product side, we will multiply this hydrogen chloride by 2. We will again write the equation H2 plus Cl2 gives 2 times HCl. Now let's again count the number of different atoms in both reactants and products. Here, number of hydrogen atoms on the reactant side, that's 2. Number of chlorine atoms, that's also 2. And on the product side, the number of hydrogen atoms, that becomes equal to 2 now. And the number of chlorine atoms, that also becomes 2. So now it's a balanced chemical equation, as there are equal number of hydrogen atoms in the reactant side and in the product side, and there are equal number of chlorine atoms in the reactant side and in the product side. But there is an important point to remember, that while balancing a chemical equation, the formula of the compound should never be changed. For example, if there is a compound water, and if you need to balance a chemical reaction in which one of the products, that's water, you should never write it as H2O2, because you are changing the formula of the compound. It becomes another compound, that's hydrogen peroxide. An important question arises, that why do we need to balance a chemical equation? It's the most important. point. The balancing of chemical equations, it is done in order to satisfy the law of conservation of mass, which states matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Let's learn from this example what the law of conservation of mass means. Here the number of hydrogen atoms, that's 2, and in the product side it's 1. Here the number of chlorine atoms, that's 2, and in the product side that's 1. That means during this reaction, one hydrogen atom has been destroyed and one chlorine atom has been destroyed, which goes against the law of conservation of mass, which clearly states that whenever a chemical reaction occurs, neither the atoms are created nor the atoms are destroyed. So in order to satisfy the law of conservation of mass, the equations should be balanced. Hope you have understood the balancing of chemical equations. Do not forget to subscribe the channel.